Hey guys, we're doing the second degree black belt self-defense. This is set number 2. It's a rotating curriculum, so you have 3 sets you do. This is set number 2. Combination number 1, self-defense number 1, is a front bear hug with the arms trapped. I'll try and keep my head out as best I can so you can hear me. I'm going to put it on this side. So it's bear hug, arms trapped. Obviously he's in tight, he's pulling me around, whatever he's doing. The first thing to do is place your hands on the inside of their hips and step back so that way you can try and get some distance. Now what I want to use in this case, I'm going to use my left hand on the far side so that way I can keep talking to you. Since I've made that distance, if I have to horse fight to loosen up a little more, I can. This arm wants to reach around to his chin, under his chin, and then I extend. Okay, this is to open up my body and give me distance. From here, I'm going to use the same arm to come forward and then rotate into his bicep to bring him into me a little bit more. Now, if he goes down on his knees, that's fine. I can still do the same thing. If the body stays up, that's fine as well. The idea is to get that rotating lock here. Now, if you look from here, where did his body and his head go? Right into you. So I can get down and I can headbutt into him. Okay? If he comes down all the way and we're here, I don't want to do this because I'm going to cause damage. But if he's still up above, I can headbutt up into his body from there. Okay? From here, this arm is going to control his elbow. As I come up here to his shoulder or his lapel, I can grab the neck if I have to. And I want to rotate his elbow to the inside so I get behind him. Okay, once I'm behind him, I will reach up to his face or his head. I can do it one-handed, I can do it two, and I'm going to drive him backwards by his head. So we can bring him all the way back and down. Okay, so again, we have the front bear hug. We'll trade positions this time so you can see it. We've got the front bear hug. I'm going to place my hands on the inside of the hips. I'm going to step back to clear distance. I can horse fight to get more room if I have to. And I come over top and extend against the jaw. Okay, this gives me space. When my arm comes back in and I get that lock on the bicep to bring him down, I can headbutt if he's in good position. My interior hand goes to his elbow. My other hand comes up to his body and I twist him through. This is so I can get behind him. I reach up and grab and I drive his head and all the way back to the ground. Obviously, when you're training, being careful with your partner. And now, self-defense number 2 is a rear bear hug with the arms trapped. The first thing to do once they have that lock is to make sure you can try and just bring the elbows in as much as you can, get the body down. Okay, I'm trying to open up and gain position so that way he's not driving me forward or backwards and dropping my base. Okay, now when I stepped out, I can already feel his right leg is there, which is exactly what we want. I'm going to do the rolling knee bar. Okay, once I'm here, I want to get down to a leg, if I can get clothing, if I can get all the way in. The idea is once I have the leg, or even a piece of the leg, is to sit backwards on it and roll down into position. Okay, his knee is on the inside of my thigh. I can use this foot to even push him away if need be, and I crank back, just like you would on an arm bar. I lift my hips and pull in, but this time I'm doing it to the knee. Sure, on video, it's a hard spot to see where we are, so we'll do it from the other direction as well. Okay, he's got my arms trapped down. I bring up and I sink my weight. If his head isn't buried, I could very easily headbutt him as well. I've got that leg, I want to reach down. You might not get a full grip on it, but once you sit back on the leg and I roll, I start to get the position. Now, I ended up a little bit more on the opposite side here. That's fine, because I've still got his knee going against my thigh. I can lock my feet and crank into it. Okay? So I can just lock up here, pull back on the leg, called a rolling knee bar. All right, now for number 3. Number 3, we're going to do a bear hug with the arms free this time. So now, in that position now, we're going to be here. I need to loosen up his grip. First of all, I always have the V trigger to the hand. I want to get the arm loose. I can horse bite back if I need to. I've also got elbow striking range. The idea is to open the grip. Once I have the grip open, I'm going to go opposite hand. So in case it's his left and my right in this case. I want to come through to the other side and starting to bend it. You see where I went here? From this grip, I started to bend it. As I came through, I'll transition to the other hand. I'll horse bite to bring him down. I'm going to put him into what's called a modified gooseneck. The idea is to think about like you're carrying a football. Try and get his elbow as best to your hip as you can. You're not worried about his comfort. You want him lower than you at all times. Now, what makes this a modified gooseneck? This gooseneck can break his wrist. From here, the modification is I come through. I get my arm as far through as I can. I reach around to where his pinky bone is, the outside of his hand. and I rotate. I don't pull back. I don't apply pressure by pulling this way. I apply pressure by pulling it in a circle. Okay? It's a modified lock, so it cannot break it. It's going to cause pain, but it's not going to break. Okay? So again, from this position, I need to go to the other hand. My arms are free. I can V-trigger them open. I can strike. I get my opposite, so that way as I come out, I can get that wrist bend. I can even hit him on the way out, and it allows me to worry about what that other hand's doing as well. Okay? I transition hands. I go for my horse bite, or I drive his elbow down. Now to get the modification, I reach all the way through to where the pinky knuckle is. I rotate it around in a circle, and I get my lock. Okay? Now, I'm going to release the pressure here just so I can explain the takedown, because it's important. It's all about control. I want him lower than me at all times. I want to get the lock. I can move his body. The idea is whenever I decide I'm ready to take him down, all I need to do is go down onto the knee of the same side that's close to him. I step back, down on my knee, and I sit him down. Okay, he sits all the way down. If I want to continue to take him down, I take the shoulder that's closest to him, and I roll it to touch it to the floor. This will bring him to the ground. I still have pressure that I can now mount up behind his back. It's still the same modified gooseneck. I never lost the pressure. A little bit easier said than done. Okay, now we're moving to number 4, which is what we consider a very traditional arm throw. We refer to it as a judo arm throw because you see it a lot in judo. We can do it from the clinch position. I could do it from a wrist grab. I could just do it from standing, but obviously it's not as realistic. The idea is when I do this is I want one hand down on the wrist. I want the other hand as high up on the armpit as I can get it while still leaving room for my shoulder to get in. I have the wrist, I have the arm, I turn my body and I rotate. As I rotate, I'm going to push my hips into him, and you see my shoulder took that spot. With my hips in, control the wrist, high on the arm, all I need to do from here is continue to rotate so I can support his weight up on my back with the position of my hips. So the idea then is he's going to come up and over. Now there's 2 different ways that we can do this. I can do this one, get a hold here, under, watch the footwork. I go in this case right, left, up and over. Or if you're not comfortable getting them all the way up and over, once you're in this position, you can even drop onto your knee and continue the takedown. It's more of what we would see in ninjutsu. Okay, so here I am. He's going to go up and over. I get a hold of him from whatever position I'm in. I loosen up. Grip 1, grip 2, up and under. Okay, I always try to control the arm in between. You know, doesn't always have to be the most graceful up and over. We're not looking for his feet to always go up and over his head. The idea is that your body rotates through and he comes over the side and down. Okay, you got control here. There's nothing requiring you to have any type of control on the ground. It's just a good habit to get into. Okay, we'll do it one more time from the opposite side. So here I am with David. I get grip 1, grip 2. I go up and underneath. This time I'll go down. Okay. The going to the ground is not as dynamic of a throw, but it often works a little bit better when you have differences in size and weight between you and your opponent as well. So, now number 5 is going to involve a lot of striking. He's got a hold of my wrist on the same side grab, and I'm thinking about striking his body and moving it side to side with each hit that I do. So I'm going to slide in, I'm going to bicep strike his arm here. I'm going to go 1. That will loosen up my grip. If that hasn't completely loosened the grip, the same hand is then going to go for a hammer fist up to the jaw or the temple. Okay, so I have that quick 1, 2. So I have 1, 2. Once I have that, the free hand is now going to rotate across. I'm going to go for his ear. I'm going to go for an ear slap. Very careful with the part where you blow out an eardrum very easily. Okay, his body is now rotating in this direction, so I'm going to use my elbow to pivot and rotate it back in the other direction. Okay, we'll change sides just a minute. If you look the way my back is turned to you now, I've rotated completely. So I'm going to wind back in with that forearm, and this is what's really going to drive him to the ground. It's that angular action of that forearm strike here. If you haven't, you can still rotate and continue to throw punches from that point. So we'll trade spots so you can see me a little bit better on this side. So I'm here. I'm going to come in. Bicep 1. Hammer to start to rotate his body. Ear slap to disorient and rotate his body. He's going that way. I rotate back in with that elbow. And now here I am all lined up with that forearm strike here, which is what really is going to drive him to the ground. and then I even have my hands at that point as well. Now, for final one, number 6, it's really just using a fake to be able to get in and strike and control your partner fast. I have to initiate the action here to increase that level of force. Maybe he did throw first, and then I'm counteracting. The idea is here we are in our guard. The first thing I'm going to do is going to fake toward his eyes. I'm going to bring my hands up. The idea is literally just to get him to drive back, protect his face. Once I drove him back here and his hands have come up, I'm going to use my front leg to throw a round kick. If we're in this closed guard here, I can do it to the femoral artery. His feet are switched, I can do it to the sciatic or the knee as well. Okay, it's going to be target area of opportunity. So here I have my driving in with my hands, followed by my kick. My body weight is coming down, so I'm going to throw a reverse punch, just continue to drive him forward, and then I'm going in for the clinch. I want to get a hold of him. Once I have that clinch, now you can use either knee, but in this case, I feel the preference is to lean back and use your front, because now I want to continue to drive him this way, me backwards, him forward, and this knee allows that better. I dog his body forward, which means I get his head, I drive his head down with my weight on top. Once I have him all the way down, I have a great knee striking position. I can continue to drive his head to the floor, I can hit, I can get out. Now this is obviously a higher level of force, so you can adjust it accordingly. We're going to switch spots so you can see it from this side. So I have my fake up high, followed by my kick, followed by my strike. If you're too close and you throw an elbow, that's fine. You know, you can mix these any way you need to. We go into our clinch. I want to start to drive him back this way. So I'm going to throw that knee strike, and then I'm going to dog him all the way forward. And make sure you really try and keep your weight down on him. I have my strike, my knee, I have hits, and I get up and out. So we just did 2nd degree black belt self-defense, set number 2.